Ladies and gentlemen, how's it going? Once again, I'm your boy Neff from Neff's Tech Bits with my spiritual guide, Colonel Sanders. And today I want to talk to you a little bit about what's been going on at Google. Something funky's been going on at Google. Something really stinks. Nobody's really reporting too much about it, but it's important and it's meaningful. So a lot of you guys know that 4 people from Google have been fired for accessing and sharing information that they had no access to. At least that's what Google says. A disproportionate amount of Google employees are unbelievably ticked off about this, and it might just be because they're SJWs and they're also snowflakes. Now, this is where things get really interesting. This thing will get really interesting. The heads of Google who founded Google, the 2 gentlemen who founded Google, have stepped down as the head of Google in the wake of this firing scandal. And I'm still having difficulty finding out what information about this firing scandal. I think that it has to do with Google giving bids for national defense contracts. They're going to be working with border security. They're going to be working with the military, drones and stuff like that. I'm having problems finding all of this information, but the people working at Google don't really like this. They don't want to be working with border security. They don't like to be working with border patrol. Now this is where things get really interesting. So we have a lot of bleeding heart liberals out there, a lot of bleeding heart people on the far left who think that anybody who claims asylum at any port of entry should be allowed in. And they think that every port should be a legal port of entry. Now this is the thing, if you want to get into a country, if you want to get into the USA, you have to come in through a legal port. You can't come in illegally through a port that you choose to. You can't just go up to the border and just walk in. It doesn't work that way. By law, if you do not, the Attorney General has backed this up, if you don't use an official port of entry, then you are using an illegal port of entry, which means that your children will be taken from you. If you're found driving drunk with your children in the back of the car, you will be separated from your children, even if you're an American citizen. If you're an American citizen and the cops are called to your house for a domestic dispute and you have children, your children will be taken away from you. So there's the law, and then there's what people feel. Now this is a really interesting time when it's just coming to a crazy head, because you're Google. You're not supposed to be working with the government. I mean, you're not supposed to be working with defense. You're not supposed to be working with border security. And if you're working with border security and you got all my information, like, ugh. And the topping on the cake here, the most important part of all this is Google has recently changed their battle cry from "don't be evil" to, well, I guess nothing at all. And that's a little bit concerning. There are concerning things legitimately on both sides for reasonable people on both sides. Man, I don't want the company that has access to all of my emails also working directly with border security and national defense. It just seems like a little bit of a conflict of interest. There's something I'm missing here. There's got to be something I'm missing. There's got to be something that the Google employees are missing. There's got to be something that Google is missing. Now this is where things get interesting, because to be a good person, to be a good citizen, you have to follow certain rules. You have to pay your taxes. Nobody likes paying their taxes. Nobody likes paying their taxes. So back in the day when Google was #1 and they were acting like they were all on the left, they were budgeting like they were on the right, you know, taking stuff and sending it to offshore accounts and all that fun stuff. Like, how can you be a proper citizen if you're not paying your taxes? Seriously. Like, at the end of the day, we got roads that we have to make. We have health care. We have to take care of the old. We have to make sure that the children get education. Yes, it sucks, but this is stuff that we have to do. We just have to frickin' do this stuff. It's our duty as individuals. Let's face it. There's just, if we see a lady falling down in the street, we have to go frickin' help her up. And if we don't, then it's a pretty good representation of how the world is around us. And what kind of world do you want to live in? Seriously, what kind of world do you want to live in? But what I continue seeing going on is things like the credit crisis, where in the credit crisis, they were taking, there's no manufacturing money in North America at all. There used to be a lot more money, and there were places that gave money to manufacturing so that they could build manufacturing things, but that doesn't exist anymore. So what do? they found a way to take houses, take the money from the houses, and ultimately give it to the rich by taking things that were, so crappy, like stuff that was about to get foreclosed on, and slapping double A on it, which meant the government backed it, and it looked great. It looked great even though it was crap. So they take that, and then they'd sell it immediately. So you get people going into the lower middle class black neighborhoods, calling these individuals mudballs. I'm sorry for saying that. Calling these individuals mudballs, and then signing them up for a new mortgage. That horrible mortgage where the percentage would just increase like crazy. And when it did, they lost their homes. So when this happened, who do you complain to? The people that sold you the mortgage? No, because they already took that mortgage and sold it to somebody else who also gets fricked over now because this stuff is BS. At the same time, nobody at the top gets punished for this kind of stuff. It's like we're living in a place where the more money you have, the better human being you are. If you're a corporation, you're a human being, and the more money you have, the more money that you bring in makes you a better human being within the political sphere, legal and political sphere. And all you need is that money. And even if you do it badly, hey, it's okay, we'll just bail you out. The fact that we're too big to fail means if we do fail, everything fails. Man, it's just so frickin' predatory. What's going on? But yeah, that's what's up. Google is changing. Google is changing hard. And nobody's paying attention to this stuff. It's interesting. This isn't conspiracy theory. The two founders have stepped down amidst this scandal. Google is going for more military budgets. Google is bidding on border security contracts. At the same time, it has all my information. I am so freaking tied to Google, it's insane. Are they going to be selling my information to the military eventually? I mean, it's all about information and analytics. I think it's time we all start making fake identities and identifying online with these fake identities. That's all I got today, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what it means, but I do know what these facts are. And they're a little bit troublesome when considering Google. Anyways, this is it for me, ladies and gentlemen. Neff from Nest Tech Bits. Have a good one, and take care of each other, all right? Catch you later.